Talking about education, I was watching the news yesterday, and they were talking about this girl. She's in high school, actually our local high school. And you know how like schools have these tech competitions, and they might go up against other schools, and they're all sort of, you know, I don't know. I was thinking like the Americans where they have to make like science.
I was
stuff.
always in them.
Or not like tech, like the science tech type things, and who can make the biggest volcano or whatever it might be.
I know exactly what. I was the first recruit all the time.
I've never actually.
I was like the first round draft pick.
So this school was, you know, I guess they were coming up with some tech idea, whatever. This girl, she's partially blind, and she came up with a wearable for when she's gaming. Because she likes gaming, but she struggles because she has to like go really close to the screen. She can't really see, and you know, people try and help her out sometimes, but by the time she's got help, she's dead or whatever. So she came up with a wearable, and it's like gloves. And for instance, if she's about to hit into an object, the gloves will change temperature. They'll go cold. So she's programmed that to go cold when it's within however many feet away from the object.
Yeah.
She won this competition.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. But Microsoft was so impressed.
If she didn't.
Microsoft was so impressed with it that apparently...
Can we go into the concept? Can I just delve into that concept?
That's all they said. That's the only example.
Yeah, but like, for her to see a wall and go, right, when there's a wall in front of me, I'm gonna like change the temp in my glove. Man, that is amazing.
Yeah, that's quite impressive.
Talk me through this, Steph. What about this I'm not, by the way, I'm just curious. What about this is impressive to you?
Well, because I have
we
have all our senses, right? There's so much we can like use to get to game. But when you close your eyes, I'm closing my eyes and imagine playing Mario Kart, right? And I don't know when to turn left or right. I don't know what the hell's happening. I don't know what's in front of me. And then if my gloves are giving me the sensory feedback that I need to do the game, it's so impressive. Like I go when my left hand's cold, go left. And I guess if it's colder, I guess you just have to be very sensory aware of, like, if it's colder, maybe you turn hard left, or if it's not as cold, you turn a bit left. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just like it opens up. I don't know. I'm just amazed by this girl, and she's young.
So something that I think's really interesting about this in general is, and this, by the way, I'm not in any way trying to discredit. This is an absolutely amazing thing. If you think about her though, and her experience, her awareness of sensory feedback is completely different to ours.
Yes.
So like the pathway of her thinking something like that is different to how we would come to that same place.
Yeah.
But what I would say though about that is that's also why it's then really important that whenever things are happening or being developed and stuff, you have people with completely different situations.
Yes.
If you think about coming to solutions, you're gonna think about things from completely different perspectives.
Yeah.
But I think it's like that is to think about temperature. Like I was thinking at first, like if you PS5, Siege, you're all over this. They've done the haptics.
I haven't got one yet.
But you know about the haptics in the controller now. So like haptic feedback being things change. For example, there's a game apparently that's really good specifically for this. Like it's not an amazing game, but for haptics it is. So it will vibrate or react in certain ways depending on what you're interacting with. So if you're holding sand, apparently you could feel the texture of sand.
You're meant to be able to feel the game inside the controller.
Really?
Like the ground, everything. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why my really expensive controller for pro gaming, I can't use on my PS5 when I get it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because it hasn't got it.
So like if you're doing something with a spring, for example, and you're using the trigger, as you put more tension on the spring, it gets harder and harder to press the trigger. So like different things.
Wow.
But that, for her she's essentially developed something very similar, but used to think about using temperature again, like that's such a different way to go about it. Like I don't know, it's fascinating.
Intense.
Yeah,
It's intense.
She's smart.
She's smart cookie.
Smart cookie.
Smart girl.
Yeah, so Microsoft were impressed, and I think they're inviting her to
Sneeze.
excuse me, to potentially help develop this.
To sneeze publicly?
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Because when you brought up the science fair type thing, I was gonna joke about, you mean when one kid makes the volcano? Because everyone always makes the volcano. And then like another kid makes this crazy futuristic technology, and you're like, it always happens in the films, and you're like, that's unrealistic. No kid's doing that. Bam! Here this girl goes, and she's that super impressive kid.
Yeah, but it's always like the kids standing besides the project, and the parents are like, "Don't touch it! I spent all night on this. Don't touch it."
I found it.
It sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Nah. Mine was a mini model.
She won a national artificial intelligence competition.
Wow.
And this is just around the corner at our local school. Pretty cool.
How old is she?
She's in high school. It doesn't say exactly. Oh, year 10. So about 15.
Yeah, 15, 14, 15, 16, something like that.
I want to say, you have to start talking to the boys, start stepping it up.
I mean, like, just to give you another sort of perspective on this as well, looking at the other side of this. So the thing that triggers the feedback for the temperature, her being distanced from it, like she's playing games that everyone else is playing, and she's somehow gone into the code of that game and figured out when to know that she's a certain distance from a wall. I don't know. That to me is almost more impressive than the actual glove part.
Pretty cool.
Like, that's this has got my juices spinning. I want to build something now.
Last thing, because you brought up the PS5, there's this guy on YouTube, and he started reviewing the PS5 remote and 2 PS5 games, but he was very frustrated. Like, he was very frustrated and upset with the review, and then it sort of pans. It sort of asked him, why are you upset? And he said, well, I don't have a PS5 to test it on. I'm reviewing a PS5 remote and games without the PS5.
Brilliant. I saw a graphic. They were like, people are raving about these PS5 graphics. I don't know what they're talking about. And they've got it hooked up to one of those old box TVs.
I just saw something so random. You know, Wipeout, the that show.
Oh, I thought you meant the liquid. Yeah.
Someone
Total
died.
Wipeout. Are we talking about the show where you bounce on the big red balls?
Yeah. Yes, and I've got a picture of those big red balls here. Someone died, a male contestant in his 30s.
Ernest, put him away! Put him away, Ernest! Put him away!
After
and why are they so red?
In California,
Yeah.
he had a medical thingy and died.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
I know.
I didn't even know that show was still on, if I'm honest.
They're doing a reboot. It said.
They probably shouldn't, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
I know. Awful. Anyway, good on her.
That kind of killed my joke, didn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't say her name because maybe they're not
I was going to
allowed
say, what's
she's
her
in
name? We
year
should...
10. Well, maybe because she's year 10, they haven't...
Yeah, she's still a minor.
Yeah.
Christine Douglas.
They have a name.
Never mind.
They have their name, and my theory got thrown out the window. And,
no, they won't release the name.
As I said,
She's
it
still a
because it's a
minor.
news article video, and it came up with the...
They don't have a name. They don't have a name. Christina Douglas.
Christine.
Oh, Christine.
Yeah.
Well, Christine Douglas, absolutely incredible. I look forward to
Genius.
seeing what else you come up with
Yes.
and develop in the future.
Isn't that really...
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Smart girl.